first 10 were crucial. I don't think we got enough runs in the first 10, especially the fact that the wicket kept getting slower. And 30th to 40th again, that was a crucial period. And we wanted to bat quite late, but at the same time, we started playing the big shot close to the 37th over onwards, but we are not really able to connect. Both me and Virat, we were set and we wanted to play the big shot, but we never really middled anything. So that's even the reason. If you see, if the set batsmen are finding it difficult, I think it will be difficult for the batsmen who come in after us, to freely play the big shot. Also, not to forget the outfield over here is fairly big, which meant when you're playing the big shot, more often than not you have to clear the fielder. So it was a tough one, and especially when there's less pace on offer, you can't really use the pace of the bowler, so you have to play the big shots. Yes, I thought it was a very good effort by the bowlers. The reason being, I felt it was a good wicket to bat on, and the spinners, I don't think they got a lot of assistance, but still they bowled well. And as I said, it kept getting slower and slower, and there was a bit of reverse swing on offer, and because of that, I felt the fast bowlers, when they bowled the last few overs, also they bowled very well. They used that extra fielder quite nicely, and they restricted the opposition. So I felt if the wicket would have been the same, it would have not become slower and slower. 270 was a par score. Maybe a very good effort by the bowlers. If you see, he's not somebody who was out of form, because he got run out in quite a few games. So it's just that we wanted to try him at number 4, and he got run out 2 or 3 times, which makes it slightly more difficult for this batting line to work. So the good positive was the fact that Ajinkya Rahane batted really well whenever he got opportunity to top of the order. We all know he plays authentic cricket shots, and he can exploit the field without taking too much of a risk. So it was good, and it will also help him when he comes and bats at 4. It will give him a bit more confidence of playing the big shots whenever he has to. So there are a lot of positives out of it, but in this game I felt it was important for Virat to bat at 3. That's the slot that he'll generally bat on, but I feel for Virat he can bat at any number, 3 or 4, or at times he is also open. So I don't think slot really matters for him. Well, as I said, I want to bat up the order, but at the same time I also want people who can contribute lower down the order. So I have to mix and match it. And I think what will be good will be the fact, if I can put a number of overs as to, this is the number of overs. If a wicket falls after this over, I'll go into bat, so that, I can create a partnership, and with enough deliveries, if I've played enough deliveries, then I can play the big shots later on. So that's the thinking behind it, but which means, a few of the other batsmen will also have to accommodate according to that. They may score at times, they may not score at times, but the good thing is they'll get experience of batting down the order also, because at times I felt the Indian batting lineup, it becomes quite rigid as to this is my batting slot, this is where I will bat. But when you bat down the order, at times you get to know what are the difficulties, because it's always I won't say it's easy to bat up the order, but you always have the cushion of 3 or 4 batsmen behind you, so you can play your big shots because you have those extra batsmen after you. But once you're batting at 5 or 6, the number 7 is quite thin. So when you're looking to play the big shot, you have to back yourself and say, okay, I can't really mistime it. So these are the pressures that you have to go through, if you're batting down the order. Well, again, if you see, if I have to bat up the order, somebody has to bat down the order. So there's a lot of confusion, when it comes to the media side, because they want me to bat at number 4, but they want Virat to bat at 3, and they want Jinx to bat at 4. It's not really possible. There's only 2 slots. There are 3 batsmen. So there'll always be a question. As I said, I've explained it. We want Virat to bat at 3, but at some point of time, again, we'll love to have a look at him at number 4, because usually that number 4 batsman will get to play 30 overs, and 30 overs is a good number of overs to score 100. And it also adds depth to our batting. Not to forget, we are still looking for somebody at number 7 who can play the big shot. And if that doesn't really happen, that extra pressure has to be taken by the top 6 batters. So you have to find people who fulfill that job. And also you have to play with 5 bowlers, because the part-timers find it slightly difficult to bowl full quota of 10 overs. So there are a lot of things that you have to manage, and accordingly you have to decide, which person suits the position the best. I feel that three spinner thing is working, but the fast bowlers, they'll have to keep doing their job, and also still the number crucial slot is the number 7 batting slot. Especially Raina not scoring, it makes it a bit more difficult. If you have 7 also who's not really a big striker of the ball.